So next we have UI design. What is UI design? UI design is simply known as user interface design and is the process of designing the visual and interactive elements of a digital product, system, or services. UI is focused on creating an interface that is visually appealing, intuitive, and is easy to use. When you go to a website, how it looks, it's the job of a UI designer. UI designer, their job is basically creating the layouts, the typography, the icons that you see, the colors of a product. When you open your Facebook app, I'll be using Facebook as an example here. When you open Facebook, how it looks like is the job of a UI designer. The person that puts all those buttons, the text size, the picture frame, everything there is the job of a UI designer. While how it's easy for you to like a post. Let's say for instance you want to like a post on Facebook. You don't have to go to London, you don't have to spend 5 minutes, you don't have to go to Jericho to like a post. You simply click on the like button. How easy it is for you to like a post is the job of a UX designer. When you see the icon like there is the job of a UI designer. So UI designer is basically the visual aspect, how the layout looks like. That's the job of a UI designer. In UI designer, it is closely related to UX design, and the two disciplines often overlap. While UX design is concerned with the overall user experience, UI design is focused on the visual and interactive aspect of an interface. Like I said earlier, that's the focus of a UI designer. You focus on interactive aspect, the interface of the product. While we have responsibilities of a UI designer, there are so many responsibilities of a UI designer, but we are going to talk about few here. The first one here, and it's very important, is designing visual elements. That's the number one job of a UI designer. As a UI designer, that's the number one job. UI designers are responsible for creating visual elements of a product, such as layouts, typography, color scheme, and icons. Just like I said, their job is to create the layout of a website, of an application. They give you the typography that you see on your website, on your mobile app. It's the job of a UI designer. The color scheme, how you were able to use the app or the website very well, you're able to use the design very well without giving you color blindness, is the job of a UI designer. So the visual aspect is just basically what they focus on. Another thing here is developing wireframes and prototypes to help illustrate how the product will look and feel, and how to identify potential issues with the user flow. Another thing you need to know as a UI designer is that your job is to draw out wireframes and prototypes. When they say wireframe, what do they mean? You can actually use your Figma to draw out wireframes. You can use your sketchbook to draw out wireframe. Draw out how you want the app to be like, the product you are designing to be like. It's more like a rough sketch of how you want it to be like. So after you wireframe, you need to do prototype, which is connecting the screens, letting your client know that this is how it's going to look like, from login to sign up to profile to homepage, just connecting the screens together. That's what it's called, prototype. So it's one of the job you need to know as a UI designer. You need to learn how to draw out wireframes and prototype. It's a very, very important aspect of a UI designer. That's what you do. Another thing here is that UI designers, they create style guide and design systems. This is very important as well. As a UI designer, your job, first thing you need to do whenever you want to design, is to create style guide and design system. Let's say for instance you want to design a product and you didn't create design system or style guide, and your company employed another UI UX designer to assist you on the project. Where are they going to start from? So the first thing you need to do as a UI designer is put the color you want, your primary color, on the Figma board. You put this, let's say blue is the primary color, you write blue primary color, red is the secondary color. Pick your icons from a particular plugin. You don't need to pick your icons from here, and here. Let it be on a particular plugin, from a particular plugin, so that it will bring consistency to your design. So UI designers develop style guides and design system to ensure consistency across all digital touchpoints, and to make it easier for other designers and developers to work on the project. As developers as well, what my own experience so far, the first thing developers normally ask for is a design system. They want to know how it looks like because they have to work on it from their end as well. So if you don't write down all those things before designing, how are developers going to work on the design that you've done? You need to learn how to use Tiger and design system because it brings consistency. And that's one thing about design. You have to be consistent in what you are doing. If as a user, if I see a like button at the top of your design, I should see that same like button at the bottom of your design as well. It is called consistency. It makes your design looks neat and good. So always learn the habit of drawing a style guide and design system before you start. So another thing here is tools for a UI designer. We need laptop or desktop computer. You need a phone. You need it might be an Android or an iPhone. Notebook for sketches and ideas. This is very, very important. You need to have a notebook where you have to sketch out your ideas. Then software tools. When you have Sketch, we have Figma here, we have Adobe XD. Like I said when I talked about the UX, I prefer Figma because it is easy to use. You can collaborate and work together there with other people while using Figma. But what I've heard about Adobe XD, you can't actually collaborate with others. Figma is very user friendly. It is easy to use for newbies. People coming to design for the first time. It's very easy for them to use, unlike Adobe XD. And the last one, you need your brain. Yes, you need your brain. You have to think very well for you to be a designer. You don't just get up from your bed to be a UI designer. So final point. UI/UX design is a process of designing digital products, systems, or services that provide a positive and user-centered experience for the user. So your job as a UI/UX designer is that you provide good experience for your users. Give them quality work. As a UI designer, you should give your users quality work. It should be good. It should look good in the eyes whenever they are looking at it. It should be very, very easy to use. So that's your job. That's your job as a UI/UX designer. And you can actually be a UI/UX designer. You can choose to be a UI designer. You can choose to be a UX designer. But if you are in Nigeria, I would advise you to be a UI/UX designer because that's where that's where you need to get the money from. In Nigeria, most companies, 99% of companies in Nigeria always want to employ UI/UX designer, not just UI designer or UX designer. So it's very, very good for you to be a UI/UX designer. You can learn both of them. But like I said earlier, it's your choice. So for me, I'm a UI/UX designer because I feel it's my job. It makes my job easier for me. As a designer, I want to design something. I can just go to do after doing my UX part, do my research. It is very easy for me to work on the UI part. Yes, that's it. So that's it for introduction to UI/UX design. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget subscribe to my YouTube channel if you enjoyed this video, so you'll be getting notifications on videos about UI/UX design. Like and share this video. Drop a comment on the comment section. You can just comment UI/UX design so that when people are looking for UI/UX design videos, they can actually see it. So yes, thank you. See you on the next one. Bye.